coaches. Welcome to Speed Kills Football. We have another great guest for y'all today, Coach Lew Johnston. He's retired out of Virginia, over 160 wins. He was Coach of the Year in 2002, state champion in 2015. He's going to be talking to us on being untraditional with the traditional wing tee. So without further ado, Coach, thanks for joining us.
Seth, it's great to be here. Hi to everybody. I wish I could see you face to face, but anyway, we will get through this the best we can. It's really a pleasure to be here. And again, thank you, Seth, for having me. Guys, let me click down here. All right. If you need to contact me for any reason, there's my email. And I do have a website. I put a blog up each week. And then note down at the bottom, guy, and I'll show this again at the end. So if you don't have a pen and paper right now, if you want the PowerPoint, email me. I'm glad to share it with you. I'm retired now. I got nothing to hide and just enjoy talking football and helping coaches. So if that's something, if you'd like to see the PowerPoint, let me know. All right. We're going to talk about being untraditional with the traditional Delaware wing tee, but I just wanted to just introduce a couple of thoughts. Guys, no matter what offense you run, I want to strongly encourage you to realize that you need a knowledge of military tactics, particularly know how to attack defenses. The United States Army, the Marine Corps all have manuals on this. They're free. You can get them. You'll note down at the bottom there in Roman numeral 3, there's some recommended reading. A lot of folks have read The Art of War. To be honest with you, didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. What did make sense is letter B there, War Fighting, by retired Marine Corps General A.M. Gray. It is excellent for tactics and strategy. If you're a wing tee guy, of course, Tubby's book, the Delaware Wing Tee. And if you don't have a copy of that, email me. I'll get you a free copy. You don't have to spend $500 on eBay now to get it. And then Denny Crean also has another Bible, if you will, on the wing tee. So they're all good. When you're talking about the wing tee, if you are dealing with what you would consider to be a physical disadvantage, your kids just maybe don't stack up size-wise or speed-wise, then you need to utilize a psychological advantage. And I have a lot of coaches who tell me, well, I refuse to run the wing tee, but they hate to defend it. Well, that should tell you something about the offense. So how do we create that psychological advantage? I think that's what the wing tee gives you. It creates confusion, creates hesitation on the part of the defense. And you do that by using some of the foundational principles of the Delaware wing tee. And that encompasses the idea of using deception with shifts, emotions, and unbalanced formations. These are all fundamental parts of the wing tee that I talk to a lot of coaches around the country, and they're not using them. And I think you're doing a disservice to yourself and to your kids by not applying those. But then the fourth thing I would say is you want to be untraditional while using the traditional wing tee. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, how it really helped us be successful over the years by being a little bit different than the traditional wing tee. So I want to encourage you to be truly a four-back offense. When you look at Tubby's original concept of, what the Delaware wing tee is about, it's a four-back offense. And we want to be able to utilize our quarterback in the running game. So you will see as I go through this, when we went to shotgun, there were a lot of times we put a tailback, another running back, if you would, at the quarterback position. He wasn't the greatest thrower, but he was one of the 3 or 4 best running backs we had on the team. And that's why we wanted to use him there. We came up with what we considered to be our Elite 8. And honestly, some years it was only a magnificent 7 plays that we really focused on. Our concept, our philosophy was we wanted to get really good at a few things. I would encourage you to be known for something. They knew when they were going to play Lew Johnston, they were going to get buck sweep crammed right down their throat, and they better be ready to stop it, because if they didn't, they were going to get a heavy dose of it all night. But at the same time, break the mold. Be willing to be a little adventuresome, if you would, and run your Delaware wing tee, your traditional wing tee, but be a little non-traditional or unconventional in your approach. It was interesting looking back through Tubby's book, which was written in 1988, I believe I got it there. What was once cutting edge is now traditional. Every diagram in Tubby's book is drawn out of the 100-900 formation, which those of y'all know what the terminology means. This is the dive back position. When he went to red or blue, or we called it 400-600 in 1998, I mean, this was cutting edge stuff back there. Tubby had never put that back up in the slot. So when he went to that, people's hair was on fire, but this is what he did to adapt to the circumstances of what defenses were giving him. And that's what we tried to do during the 22 years that I ran the wing T. Encourage the mystique. I was talking with a coach from Georgia here recently, and he said, coaches don't want to run it, but they don't want to defend it either. So I think in a lot of ways, the wing T levels the playing field. We won a lot of football games with talent that we would have considered going into the game might have been a little bit inferior, but because we were so good at our execution of it and people were so afraid of the offense that we had them, a lot of times we had them beat on Monday when they realized when they came in the locker room who they had to play on Friday night. And of course, number 8 there, I think is important. It is a run first offense, but, and I really want to stress to you guys, I want you to utilize your play action passes. Tubby says in his book that the passing game complements the run game. You need to have both. And of course, the better passer you've got, the more often you want to use it. But a lot of times, when you reach the point that you're only throwing the ball 2 or 3 times a game, you're playing right into the defense's hands, and the ability to at least take a play action pass. And I tell people, Tubby Raymond came up with RPOs back in the 1960s when he had the keep pass, the KPs, and the Waggles, because the quarterback's job was to run or throw. And you want to get the quarterback out on the flank and let him do some things. So really, when you sit down this offseason and looking at your wing T offense, please consider trying to utilize as much of that play action passing game as you can. Here's what our Elite 8 look like, and we're going to cover some of these, but again, I'm going to present them to you in a untraditional or non-traditional fashion, some things we did that you wouldn't really consider to be, quote, traditional wing T. Buck sweep, as I said, we lived and died with it, but guys, you've got to be able to run this play to both flanks. If you're a buck sweep coach and you're not running buck sweep to your split end slot side, again, this is something you've got to put in, and you're going to see in a few minutes. I'm going to go over it for you. Be able to trap to both sides. Again, I shared this with a wing T coach, and he looked at me and said, you can trap to the split side? Of course you can. Be able to do it both ways. That's the beauty of the wing T, is you've got the flexibility to be able to run just about any play to either side. Running power is important, but we learned from Reinhardt University down in Georgia that what he calls power wide can be even a more effective play, and bellying down or standard plays. And then number 6, guys, if you are not running counter crisscross, and I know some of y'all's hair is on fire, double handoff, guys, if you work on it, you will execute it. But I just really want to encourage you, challenge you, stress to you, run this football play. It's the best play in the wing T offense. And a lot of people are afraid to run it because you just don't want to spend the time on it. If you want to learn how to do it, you contact me. I'll be glad to teach you. We have run jet sweep. And people say, well, did you run rocket? We didn't run it much. We like jet sweep, particularly to the split end flank, as you can see there. But we found, again, time becomes your biggest enemy. And we had to spend time on these other plays. We felt like jet sweep just to the split end flank with our wing back was a play that we didn't have to invest a lot of time in. So we did mix that in there and had a nice little series off of that. And then finally, the Waggle, which can be an RPO. And then I think a play, again, that's in Tubby's playbook, but a lot of people don't utilize anymore, is running what we call Waggle keep. And that is a run play all the way, Waggle action, but the quarterback is keeping the ball. And once again, as I'm going to show you in a few minutes, being able to run the Waggle to both flanks is extremely important. All right, so here we go. We're going to look at some select plays that I've chosen for you, and I'm going to show you how to run these traditional plays in a non-traditional manner. Now, please, guys, I'm not talking about you build your offense around this. I'm saying these are things that you can use to break keys, create some consternation on the part of defensive coordinators that are trying to scout you and come up with a game plan to how to stop this great offense. So being able to mix these in, and I'll tell you some stories about each of the plays as we go down through them about when we did use them and why they were so effective. So here we go. Here's the first one. I mentioned it earlier. Running buck sweep to the split inside. I don't know what formation, the way you call it, it doesn't matter. But, for us, this is a red formation, and we're going to run wing back, buck sweep to the split inside. Here's what it looks like diagrammed. Wing back comes in 1 or 3 step motion, depending on how you do it. You notice now I've got this in our shotgun. We call this our eagle package, eagle formation, and our tailback is set to the tight end side. He normally lines up the other side, but in this case, because he's faking to the backside A gap, think wing T under center. Fullback's going to dive away. We're going to set the tailback to the tight end side and dive him in there to fill that backside A gap. Quarterback's just going to give him a little flash fake as he rotates. We had our backs always come in front of the quarterback when we were in shotgun. I know plenty of teams that run him behind him. A good friend of mine down in North Carolina has won 4 or 5 state championships. He brings him behind the quarterback. Whatever you like doing, we just like to keep it in front because I felt like it was a little bit more deceptive in terms of the defense seeing the ball, but then who exactly has it. So we run him in front. I think a key block here is by the X split end. I know you can't call it a crackback anymore. We send him down inside, first man inside on the second level to wall that guy off and set the wall. And now you can notice the front side guard, when he pulls out of there, a lot of times he was kicking out a defensive back. And of course, everything else is wing T buck sweep. And quarterback waggles away, and the Z is looking to cut it up when he finds that running alley. So what we did is, and I was told you're crazy, probably 99% of the time, the first play we were going to run in the football game was out of this formation, but we would run it to the tight end wing side. I wanted to see if defenses were going to overcompensate to stop buck sweep to our tight end. And this is another reason that I didn't change our formations a whole lot, because I like the idea of having that fourth man, that Z wing back up there near the line, because I wanted to see if people were going to adjust to him. And if they didn't, as I said, we'd just run buck sweep or down or power right there until the cows come home. But once I did realize they overcompensated that way, we started running buck sweep back the other way. I'll show you a couple of clips here. Here's our state championship game. I can get this thing rolling. Here we go. Oh, well, we don't need any noise. There's your cut. Well, what had happened, we had prepared for a 3-3 stack. These guys had already played 13 games, and he comes out and he has overshifted his entire line to our tight end wing to take away buck sweep to the tight end side. So once we figured out they'd overcompensated that way, we came back with buck sweep to the wing back the other way, and you can see good yardage there. Here's another example. This is a early season game, and we're in shotgun. You can see the fullback here is to the wing back side because he's going to fill this backside guard. You can see the handoff in front. Number 10, although he has a quarterback's number, he is our second string fullback. He went to tailback when we went to eagle. And everything else looks the same. There's the crack by the split end. He's coming down looking for somebody. Guards are pulling out. Nice cut. 4 or 5 yards. One more time. This was a big conference game for us. This team was ranked in the state, and we came in and upset them at home. And again, just gave them a lot of different looks. Can't see him, but there's the tight end's butt and the wings out here. Wings are going to be coming in motion. You can see the down blocks, the halfback first man inside, the wing split end out here is going to crack. Kid did a nice job of reading it. Took it on outside. That's the backside guard leading him. He set him up nice, and he made his 90-degree cut about 7 yards down the field. Just read this really well. Got us down into the red zone. All right, one more time here. Guys, if this is a formation that you are not utilizing, I want to encourage you to look at it. This is our top running back. He's a Division I player. He's now aligned to the tight end side. Here's the wing and the split end away. We're going to run buck sweep now instead of with the wing. We've got our best back carrying the ball. Delaware calls this split 900 because you got the split end to the strong side. You can see again, trying to adjust and recognize who's where. The defense doesn't get lined up, and we've got the ball snapped. So again, everything that's buck sweep. Fullback's fading away, filling away. Here comes the halfback across the formation. Again, he's got the kind of speed to bounce the thing. So again, non-traditional, yeah, we're going to run buck sweep. Well, do you run the split inside? Well, no, then you need to consider putting it in. All right, fullback trap, but again, we're going to go to the split inside. We just ran buck sweep with the wing back. If you were running buck sweep with the halfback, then you're going to say, well, fullback trap comes off of that. Well, now we're going to send the wing in motion, fake buck sweep this way, and run the fullback back to the split side. That was, again, this is the state championship game. This is a good football team we're playing. You can see them, they're already sliding this way. It took us a couple of series to figure it out because, very honestly, guys, I didn't have anybody in the box who knew anything about the wing tee. They could get me down a distance in the hash mark. I had to see things from the sideline. So it took me a series or two to figure out. Once I started seeing the guys slide over, I realized, all right, they're trying to take away our tight end side game. We'll just come back the other way. You're going to see the wing start in motion. Looks like wing back buck sweep coming again. Come on now. Boom. Hits it, makes it cut back to the split side. Big first down for us. Here it is later in the game. Looks like the identical play, but, you know, heck, if it works once, it's going to work again. Again, looks like it's going to be buck sweep, right? So again, being able to run trap to the split side, if you're going to run wing back buck sweep, then you got to be able to run fullback trap back to that split side too. So again, a little bit of a non-traditional way of running a very traditional play. Seth, I'm losing my voice already, bro. Okay. If you're not running power, if you're not running the 30 series, and again, I'm using University of terminology, University of Delaware terminology, guys, you need to have 30 series plays. The power is designed to complement the buck sweep because now, instead of pulling the front side guard as you would on buck sweep, you're going to play it solid here. Yes, you lose the deception of the tailback or fullback filling to the backside or diving into the play, into the hole, but the power you get because now you're looking for a double team somewhere here along the line or multiple double teams is a whole different situation. Again, we've gone strong and moved our split end over. So now using an unbalanced formation, instead of having that corner sitting in there tight, we've widened him out. We go to the line. Most of the time we're no huddle. We're not necessarily up tempo. We're just no huddle. And they're just trying to get lined up. So he sees a split end that wide. He moves out. And now you can see the crease we've got here. We've got the tailback now aligned to the tight end side because he's going to be the kick out man. But again, we're running to the one hole. You're going to see this in a second. Now we're going to get a double team between the tight end and the wing back. Tailback or fullback's going to be the kick out man, backside guard. We got another double team here. We read it up. It's just power, but we're taking it wide. Here's what it looks like. Here's your double team at the point of attack. Tailback's kicking out. Backside guard leading through. Got a double team here, back block. Halfback comes in 1 or 3 step motion, takes the ball in front of the quarterback. And now instead of having to cut up inside and taking on these big guys, we're winding this thing on out. And once again, now we've got a nice kick out on the safety. This is Reinhardt University. My good friend Fred Jones is the offensive coordinator down there. They're north of Atlanta, Georgia. You're going to see a nice little shift that they use before they run the play. Boom. Did you see it? Again, if you want the PowerPoint, you let me know. They have shifted the guard over, and now they've gone unbalanced to this side. Defense is trying to adjust, but before they can get settled, hands are down, and there comes the power. Nice cutback. Again, it's power blocking. Here's another look at it. See it from up top here. Wingback didn't even have anybody to double. He just noticed the wall. Beautiful wall here. Nice kick out. Here's the guard coming through. Here's the back with the ball. That's a pretty good hold, guys. Touchdown. One more time from behind. Again, this is power wide, not your regular power. Some people might call it a power sweep. There's the shift again. Bringing the line over. Now they got 1, 2, 3, 4 and a wing. And I believe the split end's out here too. So definitely an unbalanced formation. They got a tackle here. I see his leg and an end. And that team's in trouble. They're outmanned. Motion. Again, fullback leading. This is just good old-fashioned power football. And there's the kick out on the safety coming down. Again, great job of walling off, building that wall. That's the wingback's head right there. This is the backside guard leading him through. Nice game. All right, let's talk jet sweep for a second. I've got a good friend up in Northern Virginia in the DC area that taught this to me, and it was really effective. Guys, I took a couple of years off and then came back last year and took the role as offensive coordinator for one of my former players who got the head coaching job. He said, Coach, I want to run the wing tee. There's nobody that knows it better than you. Will you come do it? And I said, if you'll let me run it, we'll do it. So spent some time getting ready for this. And the one thing that Coach Matthews stressed to me is when you run jet sweep to the split end side, crack with your split end. Almost the same idea I was alluding to when we talked about running buck sweep. So this is a little more unconventional, non-traditional way to run buck sweep, but we just found that getting this instead of trying to run off here and leaving this guy in space to be able to run all the way around was just too much for us. It gave him the advantage. We want the advantage. So we're going to crack with the split end, and we're going to arc release the halfback, and now we're going to put him on the corner. Everybody else releases. And let me make a point here, guys, and this is something that we had some problems with, particularly when you're running jet sweep out of shotgun. You know, you can't quite time that snap up like you'd like to when he's under center. And of course, when you run jet sweep under center, you can get that quarterback to reverse around, and he's just stretching to reach that thing as that wing comes flying by. Not quite the same type of, mesh when you're in shotgun. So we taught this guard, we want you to pull unless you have a threat in your B gap. Now, I know if you're a jet sweep guy, they say under center, don't block anybody B gap in. That's fine under center. As I said, it hits much quicker. But when you're running from shotgun, if you got a B gap threat right here, you're probably better off holding this guard. So we tell him, you step like you're going to pull. If you feel pressure right now in that B gap, you just step and just run him up, just block him. We don't want anybody to penetrate through the B gap here where we're running this thing out of shotgun. So I don't know. We've got a couple of clips for you. He may pull, he may not. Center's going to step. We're just course lining here on the backside. Of course, the play side tackle is going to reach. If he's too wide, he'll make a call to the halfback and they'll switch. Halfback will take him and he arcs around. So We got a couple of different ways we called it, but honestly, I'm not big on making blocking rule calls because I don't want to confuse the kids. We'll take our chances on running the play the way we block it all week in practice. If it doesn't work, something else will. And that's something my wing team mentor taught me when we first started running this thing. He said, Lou, they can stop some of it, but they can't stop all of it. And it's your job to find out where they've left themselves weak, and that's where you need to attack. So always keep that in mind, guys. And again, this is one of those military tactics. You want to attack across a broad front and be able to strike wide or in the middle, depending on what they're giving you. And again, it's your job as the play caller to figure out where they weaken themselves, and that's where you attack. So there's jet sweep to the split inside. I got a couple of clips for you here, I think. There's your split in, and yeah, he's cheating. It might be a little too close, but we'd rather have him too close than too far because he's got to get down inside. Wing back setting here. I believe we're under center. Yep. There's your motion. And we just dove the fullback away. I didn't even want him anywhere involved there because we did run a trap off of this. As I said, we had a little series off of this. Quarterback doesn't get around, I think, as much as he should. Under center, that jet sweep handoff should occur over here in the play side A gap. He should be pulling because I don't see a B gap threat. But let's see what happens. You can already see the halfback starting to arc. And we're able to get wide and get down the sideline. That's obviously what you want to do with jet sweep is get wide. Here's another example. And you see everybody rushing around. Again, these are things I'm glad to talk with you about it another time. When we had a big play, everybody on the sideline started screaming NASCAR, NASCAR, which told our kids on the field, go line up in a red formation. And we had a menu of plays that we could select from 1 through 5, and we were going to run them fast. I mean, this was the fastest tempo. So you see everybody rushing around. We're getting set up. We've called buck sweep from our menu, or I'm sorry, jet sweep from our menu. And we're going to get rolling here pretty quick. And again, the defense is still trying to get lined up, and we've snapped the ball. Again, we turn the corner. And that's what jet sweep's designed to do, is get outside. I don't want to have our guy have to cut up on jet sweep. I'll run buck sweep. All right. Again, unbalanced formations should be a major part of your wing T offense. And we like to sneak these in. The first clip you're going to see is from our big rival. They were not ready for this. We lined up in it. We squeezed the split end down. We call this nasty. Hey, you'll see in a second. They're about that tight. And then we have shifted the tailback over, fullback you may call him. And the halfback's now in the, quote, fullback position. We're just going to turn and give him a little toss, and away we go. And again, it happens quick. And that's so that's what it looks like. We're going to get a double team somewhere along here. We're going to ask everybody else to block down. Play side guards pulling. So you got guard and tailback, down blocked by the split end. And again, we're trying to get quick. I love to run this into the short side. I wish I'd drawn this up on the hash mark instead of the middle. And you're going to see here on this clip in a second what it does. But again, tempo, gentlemen, if you are not utilizing different tempos, you're doing yourself a disservice. We would huddle in some cases, not very often. But again, there's a difference between no huddle and up tempo. And we went no huddle a lot. When we did huddle, we went sugar huddle, and we can talk about that later. But we were trying to keep the defense off balance as much as we could. All right, you can take a look here. What happens? We're on the hash. Here's the split end. Here's the wing. Here's the tight end. They're getting lined up. We have already shifted our backs over. And there's a quick toss. That's our halfback. Here's the fullback. He's leading it. Got a pretty good seal here. And I think we're going to get around the corner for a pretty good game. He was tough to bring down. All right. Here's my private school team that won the state championship. And again, this is this nationally ranked team we had to play. So you talk about being non or untraditional. Everything we did this night was untraditional because I knew we couldn't line up and just play smash mouth with them. But I think you're going to see our back shift over. They thought that was pretty cool being able to move over. But again, split end, wing, and tight end. Right now they're set away, and you're going to see them slide. I hope you can. It's a little blocked off on my screen there. There they slide, set, snap the ball. A good block by the wing. I don't know. They could have walled him a little bit better. But this is the fullback. And you'll see the tailback come around the corner in a second. We knew the only thing we had to our advantage was, of course, well, number one, we ran the wing tee, which they hated. And number two, this kid that's getting ready to carry the ball is faster than anybody on the field. So we ran him from sideline to sideline. And he takes the pitch there, and you can see wasn't anybody going to catch him. Here it is from the end zone. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Let me back it up. Again, I don't know if any of you have it in your playbook, but I recommend you consider it. Guys, and I know probably nobody on this podcast is as old as I am, but this is the old quick pitch. This is the original version of what rocket looks like. The quarterback's just going to step and literally lateral the ball to the halfback. We're going to reach, and he's just going to go. Again, we're trying to get outside before they have a chance to react. So watch the quarterback just open up, lateral the ball back to 33, and this kid's off again. Again, all he needs is one cut. We got a nice 20-yard gain. Again, there's the split end starting to seal down. Here comes the wing off the edge. Fullback's leading on the corner. You see now we're running this to the wide side. Give him a little more running room. He takes the pitch. He's coming up hard. Fullback picks him up. Nice cut. So, yeah, it helps to have athletes, but we've still got to block them. Our kids did a good job of that up front. All right. Just wanted to throw this one in for you. This is that same team. Let me click on down. Well, notice now we're going to go halfback toss. You've just seen a couple of examples of it. Defense is starting to look for halfback toss. They see that nasty formation we're aligning in. So everybody's coming up to play run. So we've run the toss a couple of times. You can see them come up here and get adjusted. They're, watch the toss, watch the toss. We give them a chance to read it. Everybody gets set. Now, I know we all like to watch the play, but I want you to at least out of your peripheral vision, watch these two right here and watch him right there. Everything looks the same. Everybody blocks it hard on the line. It's got to look like toss. It's nice that our halfback was left-handed. I think that adds to the deception of it. Here we go. Toss left. Okay. Here he comes. They're all looking up here. Watch the split end right there. Oops. Oh, we forgot all about the split end. And we get a quick score. So again, being untraditional, being willing to set some things up. They've seen toss, they've seen toss, they've seen toss. We threw that pass 4 times last season. All 4 times were complete, all 4 times for touchdowns. That's a pretty good percentage. All right. This is one we had a lot of fun with. And I want you to think about this for a second, because we always put our best running back here. I know some of you say, well, that's my fullback. That's fine. We're not going to argue that. But what we realized after talking with some coaches is people began to play their defense this way because almost every play he runs, buck sweep, power, tackle trap counter, everything, he's coming back across the formation. So we went into what we called a 300 formation, tight end to this side, and the halfback lined in the dive back position here. Wing back away. We can motion him or we can line him up there. You see in a second. And now we're going to run the old outside dive. I don't know if anybody in your area is running veer, but if you recall or have ever played it before, the outside veer is hard enough to play when you've prepared for it. If nobody's seen it, nobody's practiced against it, it can terrorize a defense. So what we wanted to do again was take our best running back and just hit him into the line as fast as we could. I'm trying to think. We ran the play 3 times during the entire season, and you'll see the results of this thing in a second. But here's what it looks like. Come on down here. Okay. We motioned the wing back across to get that corner out of there, and we just told the line, just block down. What's my rule, coach? Gap down backer, just like Buck Sweet. Guard, don't you dare pull. You just block down. We just seal this thing. We told the halfback, you run for the C gap, and the quarterback, you sprint straight down the line, and we want that ball handed off right here. Again, outside veer, no read, although we did one time just pull it with the quarterback, and he just kept going because they all collapsed on him. But again, a change up, something a little different. You're not going to run it that often, but it's a way to slip it in there and get some big yardage because the defense is just not prepared to stop it. So here's that same game. Again, they'd gotten used to 33 going wide. We've already put the wing back. Instead of motioning him out here, he's already in the flank. He's set behind the tackle to this side. And I want you to watch the results. All it takes for this guy is one block. Again, think outside veer. That's all it was. Boom. All he needs is a crease. One step, and he's gone. Yeah, he was pretty good. He scored 5 touchdowns that night, rushed for about 330 yards. But those are the type of plays where, again, the defense isn't expecting them. And I would say to you guys, we generally put in one of these plays each week for about 3 or 4 weeks. And then we kept rehearsing them because, you know, a team's only going to see you on film 2 or 3 times. So if we ran this particular play in the first game, we wouldn't come back and show it again until like the 5th game. So nobody's even seen it on film. So you don't have to have 10 or 12 or 14 of these untraditional plays, just 3 or 4 of them that you can slip in and have enough time to practice. Here's the state championship game again. You'll see the motion this time now. Wing's going to come wide. Corner's going to move with him. The quarterback probably comes out. He should be more down the line here. 33 was playing with a bad hip that night. He still only rushed for 120. But you can see the down blocks. And already, you know, this guy's not exactly sure. He's just out here in space. He doesn't know what to do. Linebackers are frozen. And we've hit 33 with the ball now. And he's coming right there to that C gap. And watch him hit this thing. Boom, one cut. That was a big first down for us. All right. Last one I want to share with you, and then Seth, hopefully we'll have some time if people got questions. Guys, this is the Waggle keep that I mentioned. If you're playing teams that are running 9 in the box and a lot of man-to-man coverage, you need to put this play in. Again, I'm showing it to you out of shotgun. We do it a lot out of shotgun, and we can do it under center. I'm not sure the cut-ups you'll see here in a second. But again, what we're doing here is we want to fake buck sweep to the split end side and then run Waggle back to the tight end. Now, we'll say this. You don't even need to have the keep. You can, if you're not running Waggle back to the tight end, again, you got to open up your playbook a little bit because this guy is wide open about 90% of the time, particularly if they're playing man coverage, because once the wing goes in motion, the corner goes with him, the safety usually slides over. Now you got the tight end being covered by a backer. He sees run action, and now your tight end's 15, 20 yards down the field, wide open. So being able to run Waggle back to the tight end is a big part of your playbook. So let me skip it down here. Now I got it flipped. We got our wing back to this side, and we are under center in this. But again, motion by the wing, tailback or fullback's through, he peels back for block, tight end releases down the field, he peels back, halfback starts across the field like he's running his drag route, and he peels back. Quarterback takes the ball, nice fake, rolls out, and again, in this case, this is quarterback keep all the way. This kid did a great job for us. I think this first clip, yep, it's from the state championship game. We had third and medium, fourth and medium several times during the game and called this play. And the kid really stepped up for us and did a great job getting us the first down. All right. We got the tight end and split end to the same side, so we've lined up in a strong formation. They're trying to get adjusted to all this. We're going to shift the tight end and move the wing out. So we made a double adjustment there. We're going to start the wing in motion. Here comes Waggle. And he's keeping it all the way. Coach, I got one more clip and then we're done.
Yes, sir.
All right. This was the regional playoff game against the eventual state champions. We didn't play too well against them. But again, tight end shifts, split end moves out, wing steps up, wing comes in motion. Come on now. And you can see this is who they normally cover him. We got a nice 30-yard gain. All right. So in conclusion, use your traditional wing team and make it unique. You got the same plays, same blocking, just different ways of attacking the defense. Multiple formations, multiple tempos. You're not necessarily expanding your playbook. You want to get really good at a few things, but having these non-traditional plays in your running game, guys, can really mess up a defense. There's my information again. If you want to contact me, want the PowerPoint, shoot me an email here. Seth, I appreciate your time. If we got a few minutes, I'm open to questions, or I'm turning it back to you, brother.
Yes, sir. Has anybody got any questions for Coach? Now's the time. You can go ahead and ask them. Check the message. We have some in the message board. Most of the people were requesting the PowerPoint, Coach. I told them just to email you directly and you send it over.
Yep. I'll be glad to send it to anybody who wants it.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach Lew, I appreciate you coming on.
Seth, my pleasure.
Coaches, thank y'all for joining us. This video, as well as the rest of our clinics, are posted on our YouTube, Speed Kills Football. Y'all can go over there and check it out. Have a lot of different coaches from different areas, different backgrounds, talking about different things. We also have a podcast. You can check that out on Spotify and Apple Play. Up next today, we have Coach J.C. Arsenault at 4:30. He's going to be talking about buck sweep from under center and in the shotgun. And coming up in March 3rd, we have Jacob Gill, the defensive coordinator from Shiloh Christian, talking about pressure packages. March 5th, Chris Towery, the head coach at Sulphur High School in Louisiana, talking pass protection. And on March 7th, we have a gun run Q&A with Coach Ben McLaughlin, the offensive coordinator at Ash, Coach Valdez, the head coach from St. James, and Coach Bronk from Bastrop in Texas. They'll all be talking about gun runs, any type of questions you have about that. Other than that, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see y'all at 4:30. You should have the link in your email that we previously sent to you. If not, drop it in the chat, and I'll resend. Thanks again, Coach.
You're welcome. Take care.
Yes, sir. You too.